It feels good to see the world.
It started and stopped. Hang on, folks. It's coming. Everything just kind of froze up here for a moment. Well, started and then stopped. Let's see if it starts all over again. This is what happens when you go remote. Nope, it's not going to want to do it. All right, well, if it starts up all over again, I guess we'll end up playing it. But unfortunately, my opening intro does not want to play. But that's okay. Things happen. Could be worse. Anyways, I'm waiting for my lady's trying to get me confirmation and make sure that everything's sounding good. Let me know that you should hear us. Then again, it may not be working because of the Wi-Fi in this joint. Folks, we'll get things going here. Hang on for 1 second here as we're trying to get things going.
I know they had a better one for.
All right, I'm waiting to hear from my lady, see if it's actually working. If it's not working, I mean, it's one of those things. You know what, Penguin AZ, if you can hear us, please let me know. When we go live, unfortunately, on location, sometimes things happen, and this is one of those things where things happen. So we'll see. Of course, I'm waiting for someone to respond back to me, either my lady or the Penguin, one of the two. Hopefully someone can hear us. Other than Fuji, who's been nice enough to join me, coming back here on the network. Okay, people can hear me and see me loud and clear. So, all right, well, that's a good way. Okay, well, eventually, or usually, there's the song that comes on, but unfortunately, because I am too far away from the Wi-Fi, it's not coming on, so I'm just going off of unfortunately, my hotspot. So things are what they are, and there's not much we can do about it. It happens. But nonetheless, thank you all for joining me here live at Tampa Joe's. Martinez coming here on a Friday evening, August 29th, 2025. And as we get into it, we'll be going around USF with the immaculate win last night, and no one saw coming, not even Boise State for that matter. And it was nice because they did put a picture of the moving truck for Boise State to be able to hit the road. So good win by them. Okay. Hang on, folks. Let me see if I can do it this way. And then all right, take 10 all over again. So there's certain things that I absolutely love about going live, and there's certain things that I absolutely love that drive me bananas. But hopefully, all right, we're going to try this again. the proper way to do the actual introduction. Hopefully this end up working. My lady will give me a thumbs up. Pete gave me a thumbs up. So we'll just give it a shot, folks. Unfortunately, when you go live on location, sometimes things work flawlessly and sometimes they don't. But you know what you do? We're done. You overcome and adapt. So let's try this all over again.
It feels good to see the world.
Nope. And I did it again. Okay. All right. Enough with that. Enough with that. I tried.
I was going to dance too. Damn,
Yeah, so was I.
You had me in the mood there.
So was I, Fuji, but it's away. Listen, it is what it is anyways. All right. So Jay says that he's here, but I don't see Jay. Is he in the wrong room? Jay, you may be in the wrong room. Holy moly's. Talk about a train wreck to start off the show.
That's show business.
Sure is. It sure is. Let me tell him to exit out and come back in. So usually when you're in a home studio, you know everything works, everything is good. Exit out and come back in. Holy craps. If anybody wants to see me lose, it's probably today, just the way things are going. But as soon as Jay hopefully exits out, he comes back. Hopefully he'll come into the proper studio, and then we'll take it from there. I got to tell him to make sure you select Martinez and company. Hopefully we get Jay on here. Jay, obviously, out there from Ann Arbor, Michigan, so he'll be joining us here. Detroit Lion fan, obviously covers Michigan, covered Tom Brady for most of his career. Still good friends with Tom Brady, and he always say that when he comes on with us. Mike Fuji out there from Philly, representing our gracious birds. I just got the thumbs up from my lady, so we know that everything is good to go here. Minus the music, but who knows? Maybe it'll end up coming back. But as I started mentioning at the top of the show here, it is live at Tampa Joe's 9316 here in beautiful Anderson Road, Tampa, Florida. A hop, skip, and a jump, and I'm pretty sure you guys will hear the airplanes flying by. Fuji knows all about it. He's been here before. It is a great establishment, and there is Jay. See, sometimes you got to tell him to refresh, and let's see if I get him on, and there he is. So joining us over from Ann Arbor, Michigan, it is Jay, best known as Beav's World. You guys normally work together on Wednesday nights. He's on with Pete Shepard in the morning on Mondays and Fridays at 8 a.m. So, Beav, thanks for joining us here. We are live from Tampa Joe's, as I had mentioned a couple of times already, and things are a little squirrely. So if things happen, we're just going to roll with it.
How you doing, Jay?
Good, buddy. How you doing? Everything good?
Yeah.
You're an Eagle. You're an Eagles fan, so you're in heaven now.
Yeah, sitting on top of the mountain.
It sure is.
Yeah. I actually thought for a minute they might get Micah, so that was but I don't think it makes a lot of sense for the Eagles as far as their salary structure, and they'll probably have to give up Jalen Carter in the trade.
Right.
So
yeah,
that would be. I think the Eagles are fine without $47 million pass rushers. Yes.
Well, plus next year they're going to have to pay Jalen Carter, DeGene, and Quanion Mitchell in 2 years. So it's definitely going to be some.
Well, they'll move off of. Yeah. They'll move off one of the receivers by then.
Yeah, I think so.
Because that's why they brought in Dotson and some of the other guys they've tried to address. Imagine, think about how nuts this would be. Imagine if the Eagles drafted Justin Jefferson.
I know. Sticking that.
It's just nuts.
Jay, we've been down that road with Justin Jefferson for years now, and it sucks because
we
didn't
know.
get him.
Is there a story? Is there a story why they didn't draft? Did they not like him in pre-interviews or something?
I don't know what it was. I just know how he wanted. I don't know why he took Jalen Reagor, and that'll be one of the biggest head scratchers in Eagles history, Philly sports history. I don't know. But then I look at the flip side. We won't have.
Yeah, they got A.J. Brown. Yeah.
Or you want to have Devontae Smith. So you got a 1 and a 1A.
No, you do.
No, they have – their situation is obviously pretty good. and it worked out good for Justin too. So,
Right.
it's crazy. But you think about how good the Eagles are, and it shows you. We saw with the trade yesterday,
Right.
the Jimmy Johnsons, the Bill Walshes, Belichick back before he lost his fastball. The guys that could draft, they got a lot of picks. They would make mistakes, but they'd hit on the more at bats you have. That's how Carl Schwarber hits 4 home runs. He gets 5 at bats. So
Right.
that's how you gotta get up to the plate to hit home runs. And Jerry Jones kind of trying to reset his team through his own stupidity, in getting potentially 3 starters for a guy I'm not very fond of as a player. But hey, some people think Micah Parsons is the second coming of Christ. I don't think he is, but whatever.
I
But
mean,
he's a good player.
It's a phenomenal talent, but a headache.
Well, sounds like somebody else who tanked the Buccaneers season about 3 years ago.
Yeah, pretty much. But nonetheless,
Antonio Brown, same type of guy. Go ahead, Angel. Go ahead.
no, not at all. Antonio Brown, what do you mean? The guy who just decided to take off his clothes and said, hey, you know what? I'm out of here. That's it. I'm done. How in the world? First of all, you're getting paid handsomely in the NFL. And we understand he came with baggage. Obviously, he left with baggage from the Steelers, comes to Tampa Bay, and Tom really, and I mean super really, stuck his neck out for him, said that things are going to be fine. Don't worry about anything whatsoever. We're going to be good. And then he decides, you know what? Nah, this is not good enough for me. I need to bail out. But then it's like issue after issue after issue that never goes away, and it just keeps adding. Then he's throwing furniture out of his Miami condo that he's renting. I mean, I just don't get it. This guy, he's just... I wish I had problems where, how much money am I making? What do I want to do today? Not destruct things. Maybe, I don't know, take my friends out, go somewhere. It's the off season. No, some people, they wait until the regular season and let me go ahead and just chunk this right out the freaking window. So it is what it is. But other than that, we'll get into some college talk. Obviously, that's why Jay's here with his Michigan Wolverines, along with obviously some NFL talk. But last night, right down the road here at Ray J, a tremendous defensive stop for USF. An exciting game that he had. And I don't think there was a lot of people that truly could say that they really saw that win coming, because we were talking about it up in the press box and we couldn't believe what we were seeing. Boise State, which looks like they were firing on all cylinders in the very first 6 minutes of the first, it was just a telling of a different tale, because it just seemed like Boise State was good. USF was trying to find their legs. Byram talked about in the postgame, hopefully I can play the video and then, that won't screw up. And if it does, if not, who knows? Maybe I'll do a magical Saturday show. Who the hell knows? But nonetheless, he talked about that first hit, or at least that first one that he was waiting for. He said once he got that first initial snap, everything else for him was really good. He was also trucking guys. Shoulder down, head down, and not obviously leaving with the helmet, but he just took that shoulder. I felt like he was hitting vending machines and just knocking them down on the way to the end zone. But solid game by USF last night. One thing about Coach Goldstein mentioned that he went off of Coach Amir that we had lost last season, just as the men's basketball season was getting ready to tip off. And if you guys didn't hear the story, Coach went in for just a regular procedure and unfortunately passed away at the operating table. And everybody thought maybe it was, a sick joke, but they thought it couldn't be real. Turned out to be that, yes, it was a case that it was real. Then unfortunately, he ended up passing away, which obviously that sucked, to say the least. But he had talked about that. Coach Amir had mentioned when he was here that this is a whole different South Florida team. It's not the same team as before. And that's something that pretty much was expressed last night when you were asking a defense when the game was over, what he thought about it. And they were saying that they were prepared since January. Now, don't forget that in December, you were talking about 5 times, or at least 5 overtimes, in order to solidify that win in Hawaii. And they said when they took that plane ride back, they celebrated basically from Hawaii, about middle of America. And then once they landed, said it's time to get focused upon next year, because some of the seniors obviously are coming up, some of the graduates are coming up. This will be the final season for them. So it was just something to behold, because once Byram was locked in, no one was taking away his game. The only big thing was, as I had put out the first tweet, when Chaz Nimrod end up scoring a touchdown, I had to put behind it, no, it's not a joke, because a lot of folks didn't realize that, yes, USF number 2 wide receiver is Chaz, C-H-A-S, Nimrod. And so if you put something out, something like that, naturally someone's going to laugh. They're going to say, oh, bam, why would you call him a Nimrod? I wasn't. That is his name. And I had to put that in the tweet, because if not, no one would end up believing me. But first half looked really good. Didn't even know. I mean, usually when I'm there, I'm always saying that what's going to happen in the second half, how are they going to make the adjustments, what's going to happen. I walked downstairs at the half and ready to do a quick hit, and just watching the people and seeing that USF had that confidence, basically I had to worry about them making any kind of adjustments. And I even mentioned to Coach on the post-game presser, and I just said to him, hey, Coach, normally last year, 3 or 4 games we had mentioned us upstairs in the press box as far as what kind of adjustments that you need to make in the second half. And what did you tell your guys this game coming out from the second half? And he took a pause, looked at me, and then he says, well, that's a loser mentality. Now, he wasn't saying it, as a disrespectful way towards me or anything else. The only thing he was mentioning was that it was a disrespectful mentality. That's for losers is what it comes down to. And he said, we don't have to worry about that. If I give the guys a job to do in the beginning of the week, we work on that on practice. So when we would come out there, we execute the plan, and that's exactly what we did. So again, USF really doing a bang-up job yesterday. Now they have a couple extra days, 2 extra days before they have to go up to Gainesville to play the Gators. And Jay, I'm going to come in with you on this one here, because everybody knows it's going to be tough the next 2 games for USF. You're talking about going up to Gainesville, to the Chomp House, and then you have to go down to Miami over at Mike McDaniel's crazy house with the Hurricanes. Obviously 2 different coaches with Mario Cristobal, but nonetheless you're playing at Hard Rock. Can USF take one of the 2 wins, or do they start off the season 1-2?
Well, you're going against Carson Beck and Langway, which is a big chore. You can get a lot of guys in the portal and, a lot of local talent in Florida, but you're going against the Miami Hurricanes and the Gators. They recruit themselves as a brand. It's going to be hard because they have such an advantage, a quarterback. I'm not the biggest Carson Beck fan, but he was projected to be the first pick in the draft going into last season, and Langway is the biggest recruit in the country going to play at Florida, and he's a tremendous talent. So it's a huge disadvantage of quarterbacks. So if you're going to win a game when they have the vastly superior quarterback in today's football, you need to do a lot of things well. If you look at how Michigan's handled Ohio State, that's how they've done it. They've made enough plays. Now, outside the year JJ went off, they've had the bigger name quarterbacks usually. But so that's what you got to do. You got to have the right. I said very similar to what your Eagles did in the Super Bowl, where Mahomes is better than Jalen Hurts. But so what? Jalen Hurts is good, and he's got a good team with him. So win the special teams, win the field position, win the line of scrimmage. You got a chance. Maybe Florida will be a little rusty. Overlooking things. You have Miami coming off from Notre Dame. So you never know what could happen. But, they have a good team. I like what I saw from them and Nebraska and a couple of other teams I watched, Wisconsin, kind of a reset, rebuild mode type of thing when you have a coaching change. So interesting to see. But college football, baby, you don't need to tell me I watch Appalachian State beat us. So, long time ago, almost 20 years ago, believe it or not. So there you go.
Fuge, I don't know if you wanted to add anything to it. I know that you may not come across USF football because obviously, unless you have ESPN Plus, it's a whole different take. But I don't know if you have any encouraging words.
Just going to ask. It sounds like they got a tough schedule coming up, and who
the hell did their schedule, Angel? Boise State, Miami, and Florida the first 3 games.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who came.
Imagine if Gentry was back.
Yeah, that would be something else if he was back. But no, listen, I have no idea who in the world came up with that schedule. It blows me away because it's absolutely insane.
Are they even ranked?
No, it's nuts.
USF, no.
I don't think so. But.
They're like in the 30 to 40 area. They're in that like 35-ish.
All right.
So now you
look at the polling.
Yeah, but you beat the next 2 opponents, then you're talking about possibly end up moving up in the rankings for sure.
Oh, yeah. In Boise State, Angel, Boise State is like 20-30 in the rankings. So
Yeah, they're 25th.
Boise State has a good team. Yeah, they're in they're in there.
But just like Pete said, without Genti, it was going to be difficult, and obviously it was. I mean, listening to last night to Ronnie Hill, linebacker, also with Mac Harris, listening to those guys last night, they said they wanted violent defense. That's what they were pretty much practicing the entire time leading up to last night's game. And when you looked at it at practice they looked really good. Now, obviously for the media, we're only allowed about 15, 20 minutes in there for obvious reasons, because they don't want everybody to see exactly what's going on. But for the times that we were in there, they looked good during practice. Now, obviously they fine-tweaked it because at the half, it was a close game. They opened it up, into the third. And if you're celebrating with Meek Mill at the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth, you knew no one was going to stop USF. And even us up in the press box, like, listen, guys, don't, take it easy. We still have another 15 minutes left in the fourth. But it made absolutely no difference because, they could have brought in the second strings if they wanted to, but they left the starters in there. And a good job by Alex, Golish, the head coach. You are not stopping USF. I don't care who said what last night. That was just an abomination to Boise State. But now you have to, like the guy said, he celebrated last night to about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, move on to the next game. The Gators are not going to be easy to win off of. And on top of, you're hitting the road twice. So you're in the northern part of the state for one game, one weekend, which would be next weekend. And then the following weekend, you're at the southern part of the state that, by the way, where the defending Stanley Cup champions are. So even though, yes, it's two different sports before someone says something, but, you're talking about something really good, something that Mike McDaniels has no clue about as far as winning, because I don't understand for the life of me how that man still has a job. I really don't. Because either he smokes a crap ton of weed, and listen, I'm just putting that out there, but anytime he speaks, he's like, Jay, I saw birds, and I was wondering.
I know, it's fun. It is funny. It is funny.
Craps. Listen,
he's replaced your buddy. He's replaced your buddy Sirianni as your whipping boy.
Yes.
He's replaced Sirianni. Sirianni's retired. He's no longer your whipping boy.
Yeah,
so you win a Super Bowl, you get a stay of execution with Angel. That's the rules.
Two Super Bowls in 3 years. So
yeah.
And Angel would fire him tonight if he could.
Sirianni. Oh, hey, I'll say this time last year, Sirianni was on the hot seat.
I know. So my U of M buddy is your new quarterbacks coach. So that's the really cool thing. He quit being the Bowling Green head coach to be your quarterbacks coach. So I actually pay attention. Is there any, speaking of that, Fuge, you would know, what's the update on Tanner McKee in his hand?
I believe it's a fractured finger.
Oh boy.
So I think
that's why they did. That's why they made the move over the last where they brought in Howell, right? They brought Howell back.
Yeah, because
okay, so that's
DTR. He didn't really show nothing in practice. They got him from Cleveland.
Well, he's a local. He's from the Boston area. I grew up watching him at UCLA. He's a Boston kid, and I watched him play. That's how he just runs around and does his thing. You can get away with that at UCLA. It's a little different in the NFL.
I was going to say, Pickett goes from the Browns and gets traded to the Raiders earlier in the week.
Well, that's because O'Connell's hurt. Aiden, the Purdue kid's hurt, who started a lot of their games last year. I think he broke his leg, and so he's hurt. And if you've seen the reports, I was talking to Angel and Pete about this. And I just sent a bunch of it to Pete earlier today. Don't look now, Browns fans. It's about to get real fun. Guess who's throwing and looking good? Deshaun Watson.
Wow. I thought they were going to release it.
Hold on. Is that a very, very early 2026 April Fool's joke?
No. I've tweeted it to Pete, and there's the video of him warming up, and in the Browns front office and coaches watching him throw. So he's going to be back sometime this season. Now,
who? For
he
the
might not be
Browns?
playing for the Browns.
I was going to
He
say,
might not be
Maybe.
playing for the Browns.
but it's.
I mean, why not? They have 17 other quarterbacks. Why not?
Yeah, right.
But here's the other interesting point, and Fuji, you chime in here in a second. But I think it's interesting that with Shador kind of, and I understand preseason. That's the whole reason why you're there, because you want to tweak things up. But
Yeah.
with Shador Sanders, I think everybody's still kind of scratching their head and figuring out like why do what you did to him when you're kind of treating him with Justin Fields and Matt
I
Eberflus
know.
in Chicago. It just doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense.
Right.
Setting him up to fail, basically, or not putting him in position to succeed.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, Angel, I'm really upset and offended that you question whether the Cleveland Browns know what they're doing. I mean, seriously.
I just
I
throwing it
mean,
out there. That's
you
all.
don't need to be you don't need to be an Eagles fan to do that either. By the way, I don't know. Okay, this is just a theory. I think the owner made them take Shador as like a publicity stunt to get off the Deshaun Watson and a lot of the other negative stuff going on. And it's whatever. What round was he? 5th round. It's a 5th round draft pick.
Right.
It's not the end of the world. I think Shador can play. I think he needs to be in the right situation. He needs coaching. Like was he with Kevin O'Connell or Matt LaFleur or Sean McVay or I know this is going to hurt you, Angel. Nick Sirianni. He might be good. And you never know, but I don't think that's a good situation for a young quarterback. And, that's why Joe Flacco's there. Joe Flacco, there's very few things Joe Flacco can handle or hasn't seen. And there's a real talent to that in this league. So we'll see, but I don't know. You're asking me to interpret the Cleveland Browns. It's going to hit me over the head with a 2x4 or something to get me to be that stupid. So I don't understand what they're doing.
Fuji, your thoughts?
Oh, it's a dumpster. I don't know who's worse, them or the Jets. I mean, it's like a dumpster fire.
I think the Jets, with Aaron Glenn being there and telling Aaron Rodgers to kick the curb, that was a positive. And they've kind of invested in Justin Fields. So they're going to run with him and see if he's any good. They're kind of a year ahead of where the Giants are with Jackson Dart, where they're trying to get through the year and maybe get Jackson in. If Russell's good, they'll maybe put him in some plays for him and get him going. But I think they're trying to protect Jackson Dart. The Jets are trying to figure out, hey, maybe this Fields guy can play. If he can't, we'll be bad, and then we'll get a quarterback with our draft instead of the Aaron, the escape mental patient Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback, and all the other not the other nonsense they had going on, and it is what it is.
I mean,
And listen, Aaron Glenn was here with Dan Campbell. The only thing that would have been shorter than Aaron Rodgers playing for Aaron Glenn is Aaron Rodgers playing for Dan Campbell, because that would have been a really short meeting.
well, it's always seemed that the Jets' offensive line's been suspect. I mean, they got some.
They've
nice
invested
players.
in it. They've invested in it. If you look at the draft picks, they took the Missouri tackle this year, and then last year they took the Penn State kid. Their offensive line should be pretty good. And having a mobile kid running around Justin Fields should kind of help your O-line. You know this, going back to Randall Cunningham in the days. I mean, he didn't have a great offensive line. He just ran around and did shit. No, he had bad offensive lines, actually. He almost got sacked 80 times one year.
Right.
And so, So, I mean, it's interesting to see, that story about the Miami player getting arrested. So, Miami Hurricanes player got arrested for an auto accident that he was involved in. That's out there in the last couple of hours. And the Patriots cut Jabril Peppers today. So if anybody who needs a safety who can't cover anybody, there's a guy in the street.
Oh.
So there you go. So
the Eagles are having question marks at safety.
Well, they got the undrafted free agent guys. One of your starters who has been good, Blankenship, the last 2 years.
Yeah, but since they traded Gardner Johnson, I mean, we'll see. I mean, the Eagles had some depth problems, I think. I mean, corner, second.
Well, and Jabril is from New Jersey, so that wouldn't make actually some sense. See, I'm like the home for little wanderers. I just found Jabrilla home. I come on with 2 Eagles guys. I got Jabrilla home.
We appreciate it.
No,
Thanks,
he would
Jay.
actually, and he would be good with Coach Fangio. In Coach Fangio's defense, he would be good. Look what he did was Zach Braun.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, the thing of
I
it
mean,
is,
Zach Braun was a defensive end, and he turned him into an all-pro middle linebacker. So,
well, the thing of it is,
and
I
don't
mean,
forget.
Justin Simmons'
Sorry.
name.
Go ahead, Foods.
Justin Simmons. His name.
Is okay. There's another. Now he's a free safety. He's a good cover guy.
Right.
So remember this: Nakobe Dean's going to be out for a lot of the year because he got hurt late in the year in the playoffs, right?
He's supposed
He
to be
tore up
out.
his leg.
Supposed to be out the first 4 or 5 weeks. He tore his patella tendon in the Rams game.
Okay, so he got hurt in the playoff game.
Yeah.
In the playoffs. So he tore up his leg. He's number 17, really good player. So yeah, you need players there. Now, it drafted the other Georgia middle linebacker who's a really good player,
Campbell.
Swinson or whatever. Yeah, no, that's the Alabama guy. I'm talking about the other Georgia guy, the middle backer. Oh, I'm gonna look it up.
What the hell is his
I'm
name?
gonna look it up. I got it somewhere. I'm losing my mind too. Hold on, let me grab my board. But
Sure.
it's Sloan. What's his name? Hold on, I'll look it up now.
Actually-
Sloan Middleton. Hold on, the Eagles guy. Hold on, I'll look it up. I'm
Actually,
looking it up right now. I got my 4 lads.
the Eagles probably got the most depth of
Mondin.
linebacker on that defense.
Samuel Mondin.
Right.
Samuel Mondin, who you drafted. Yeah, so you got Jeremiah Schroeder Jr.'s there too from Clemson.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, you guys got enough guys from Georgia on your defense? This is where you say, well, what do you want them to do? Draft guys from Harvard? I mean, it's Georgia's pretty good on defense.
Well,
So-
Howie finally started, picking the right players out of the right schools instead of going to the Pac-10 or 12 for years.
Well, don't forget, you guys know where Howie went to school, right?
University of Michigan.
No.
He went to
went to Florida. Went to University of Florida. And the best part is, you know who his roommate was?
Nah, who was it?
He's a head coach in college right now at the University of Washington. Jed Fitch.
Bro, I did not know that.
Jed was his roommate at Florida. Jed's one of my buddies. Jed was Coach Harbaugh's offensive coordinator when he first came to Michigan and his quarterbacks coach. You ever watch the video of Jameis Winston doing his draft prep with Coach Harbaugh? That's Jed with Coach Harbaugh, who's the one. Jim didn't know about the crab legs and didn't ask Jameis about the crab legs, stealing the crab legs. And Jed's the one who pointed out to Jim, hey, you might want to go over the crab legs thing with Jameis because they were preparing Jameis for the draft, being interviewed at the draft. And it's a great video, and Jed's awesome. Jed's one of my favorites coaching. He would have been a serious candidate here when we went through the transition last time, and Sharon got the job. So, but we love Sharon, but Jed would have been good too. So, but we love Sharon. Sharon's great. So there you go. He owns Ryan Day, which we like in Michigan.
Interesting.
That is interesting. I want to now.
Yes, I'm surprised you guys didn't know that.
Nah, not
Because
at
I
all.
believe Howie and Jed were both team managers
Okay.
with the Florida Gators football team.
Did not know that.
Yeah, and so they're interconnected with Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels worked with Jed on the Rams. On the Rams, when they were on the Rams, they worked together.
Let's see.
There you go.
By the way, Jay is like the world encyclopedia. If you need
I see.
anything, and I mean anything, all you got to do, it's automatically embroiled into his head.
I didn't know you were.
You'll see it flipping.
I didn't know you were good friends with Tom Brady.
Who's that? I never heard of him. No, that's my boy. It's my guy. I've known him for 30 years. So,
Wow.
I mean, the major reason why he's been with me 30 years is I can outrun him. So that's about the only reason. No, he's great. He's been a huge part of my life, and very proud of him. you two assholes are part of one of the worst defeats ever. But hey, why not? But
Hey, listen, language.
he's
It's a
got
Christian show.
he's got well, Jesus is watching that goddamn game, so that's part of the problem.
Man.
I said and did some things after that game. I don't think I've ever been more mad in my life than there was the Ravens game in 2012 where Stephen Ridley got murdered, and I didn't say anything, and the Patriots didn't do anything and allowed it. And then of course the refs ruled it a fumble, and which made it worse, and I lost my mind. So
what about
I didn't leave. It's like
what about
the
two Giants?
The two to Gomer pile. Yeah, we don't talk about that. So we don't talk about about those two games. Well, the first one I was so drunk I was in the hospital for like 3 days, and the second one I just couldn't comprehend that we lost to that loser twice. So I mean that actually happened, that we lost to Gomer Pyle twice. I joke that Tom and I are going to say the same thing when we go to heaven when we meet God. You know what we're going to say?
What's that?
Twice.
I'm sure he hates to hear about Eli Manning and Nick Foles.
I mean, you know what? We've had a lot of success, and Eli's a good guy, and he played great in both of those games. But I mean, Jesus effing Christ! I mean, can you be serious? I mean, really, twice to that guy.
No.
And by the way, they played way better than we did in the 07 game. Mm-hmm. They deserved to win that game. The only reason why we were winning the game was Tom and Randy at the end. But they played way better than we did. We did not play well. And Tom did not play well.
Well, the Giants had a hell of a defensive front.
I know. I watched the game a couple times, Fuj. and I probably think about that game every day of my fucking life. So in 11, we didn't have a very good team. We got hot, and then Gronk broke his ankle in the AFC Championship game. And then he tried to play in the game. And that threw everything off. And Mario effing Manningham, of all people, made that play. That's probably the best throw, one of the 2 or 3 best throws I've ever seen in my life, by Eli to Mario on the sideline. He catches it, and we lose. Right. So, just what can you do? Give credit to them. And listen, I've known Coach Coughlin and his family for a long time. His son went to school with Tommy and I here at Michigan, played baseball. And Coach Coughlin's a class act. And a lot of my friends from high school growing up played for him at Boston College, including Jay McGillis, who passed away. And Coach Coughlin developed the J Fund. And really classy guy. I have great respect for the Maras and their family running the Giants. And I grew up a Giants fan. I like the Bavaro, Phil Simms, Lawrence Taylor, Parcells, Belichick teams, as well as the Patriots too, obviously. But it's tough losing that game, but they played better than we did. End of the story. We eked out some games we shouldn't have won. I'm looking at you, Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll. But
speaking of,
yeah,
does Russell Wilson make it the entire season?
I'm trying to think. Has he had a lot of injury problems in his career?
I
don't think he really has he?
Not a whole
lot.
No,
he's big. He's a big guy. People don't realize he's a big guy. He's just short. He's kind of like Steve McNair. I actually think the Giants are going to be pretty good because I think your division is very weird. I think the Cowboys are a car accident. You guys are awesome. And I think the Commanders have 1 or 2 elite players, and then they're really well coached. And they have a quarterback who makes plays at the end of a game. So they can win 8 or 9 games and not be very good. Kind of what they were last year. Where they win 10 games last year, and they won a couple fluky games, a stupid Bears game. The Bears defense. Yeah. The stupid Bears game and a couple other games they won they shouldn't have won. So they're like a 500 team. I think the Giants can win 8 or 9 games and be a pain in the ass because their defensive line is going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I think they they think their skill guys are pretty good too. I think their skill group is pretty good.
I think the Giants are going to be a lot better than what a lot of people think.
Oh, that's what I think too. That's what I think. I think their defense is going to be good. I like Brian Daboll. He really changed and got Josh Allen going. And,
Right.
I think that potentially they could be a pretty good team.
I think.
Well, the
yeah,
Giants, the Giants
Yeah.
are definitely a lot better than Dallas. We know that for a fact. Dallas' season's already over.
Dallas, yeah, I mean, well,
It's over. I don't
No.
care who says what. Listen, Dak Prescott, I stuck up for the man. He showed me zero, right? And in truth, I should have. I was just trying to be fair. He showed me nothing. So now he went back and we're going to be better. We're going to win the Super Bowl. What did he say last year when he got to the extension? Now we're going to go out and win the Super Bowl. And when the VCR comes back, you can watch that film as well and figure out what you guys didn't do right. So I don't believe that nonsense about we're going to win the Super Bowl. Blah, blah. No, you're not. You're not going to do anything whatsoever. I don't know how Jerry Jones, even the same way, like why in the world would you even come out and say something like that? It's got to be the most embarrassing press conference ever when you come out and you stare at that screen. Listen, Micah. I'm trying to figure out his name because I lost everything. I don't understand what's going on. I just wish I knew what was happening, but I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like, how is that possible? You let him slip. Then I love what Pete said, which I'm pretty sure he's going to get probably the hoodie made. Nachos and a nap. Like the world saw what went on. And then you guys expect for the Cowboys to be taken serious. I can't wait for game one. That's all I got to say.
nachos in a nap.
Fuji, am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Oh, that's funny.
I mean, it's just a dumpster fire down in Dallas. I mean,
It hurts me so much to see it.
I mean, Jones has been fessing the Cowboys fans for years.
Right.
I
And
mean, I forget what I was watching, but they just say he cares more about Jerry World and just being the front man of the Dallas Cowboys.
But that's all too as a fan though. How do you spend year after year season tickets, living on a dream, hoping that things are going to happen? And trust me, it took the Eagles, us as I play for the organization, but it took the Eagles forever to finally get it right. Then when we lost our original Super Bowl champion coach, we just thought, but oh my God, it's over. That's it. We're never going to win another one. And then Nick comes and takes care of business. And even though last year, Jay knows, just like Pete knows, I was not on the Sirianni bandwagon because I was waiting for that
you
to fall out.
wanted him fired after like week 2. What's that? What's the noise? There you go.
That's the music that basically plays above me. So that pretty much is going to kill the rest of the show.
Oh, I think most people wanted Sirianni going when starting off after 2-2.
Well, how about his flower press conference when he first got hired? I thought that was the beginning of the end. I couldn't stop laughing. It was like the sensitive version of Dan Campbell biting kneecaps. Like that got replayed everywhere.
Oh,
and now the Dan Campbell thing worked because he got his team to play that way, and that's one of the more underreported things ever. By the way, what he's done with the Lions. Where you get done playing the Lions, half your team's in an ambulance.
I'll say this: the players, they love him, they back him. So, he's a player's coach. I mean, you got to give credit where it's due.
So the funniest thing is when Kathy, my business partner, came on with Angel and Angel explained. Kathy was talking to him. She was fascinated about how much Angel hates Sirianni because she's a 49ers fan and she deals with a lot of this crap with Kyle, who's kind of a pain in the ass. And he does a lot of stupid stuff.
Well, how's he have a job still?
Well, I'll tell you why. He found Brock Purdy. That's really because remember they screwed up Trey Lance,
then
Brock Purdy fell in their lap.
Right.
So it's interesting to see. We'll see, but I don't know what to say. I mean, I actually think he's kind of grown on Philly, and their team's good. Now, the biggest thing he's hired good coordinators. Right. Coach Fangio is awesome. I mean, he's one of the best coaches in the league. And Angel's buddy McDaniels fired him. So that's even more funny. So So supposedly, if you understand what happened in Miami, and Pete's kind of talked about this too, is they were clashing because McDaniels thinks he knows what he's doing on everything he knows. Like, he's the genius. Nothing can go wrong. He's reverse Sean McVay. Like, Sean McVay hires his defensive coaches and lets them coach. Like, when he started, he had Wade Phillips. And he's one of these, like what Steve Spurrier used to do when he would hire, he hired Bob Stoops to be his defensive coordinator. He always had good defensive coaches. Bill Walsh, same thing. The one side of the ball guy, hire a guy to run the other side and get out of the way. Well, McDaniels thinks he knows everything, so he ran Fangio off, who's one of the best coaches. After they had Flores there as the head coach, who's a great defense coach. Look what he's doing in Minnesota. So, I mean, it's so goddamn stupid. I actually think that Sirianni is more of the administrative, like camp counselor, head of the camp type of guy than X's and O's, call this, run this. Now, I've seen the highlights of the Super Bowl right before the deep ball that you pretty much cinched the game with A.J. Brown. Mm-hmm. He knew that was coming, and you guys set it up because they were overplaying Barkley and sending guys at Barkley on the run, right. And you set up the play action. So he knows what's going on with the game. So that's interesting. But I think he gets a bum rap. The fact that Angels kind of got off him is a good sign. I actually think he's done a pretty good job there.
Yeah, I think so.
Go ahead. How are we bringing in Fangio and Kellen Moore last year? Basically set the tone there.
Well, Kellen Moore, and again, another stupid Jerry Jones mistake, letting Kellen Moore leave.
Right.
That was beyond stupid.
And of course, now he's a head coach. Now he's a head coach, and he's got a bunch of yes men around him.
Yeah, I thought it was the silliest thing as well, but what can we do? All right, listen. Unfortunately, because I think between certain things that are going on here, I think there might be a private party. People are looking for music on the overhead system here, so I'm going to end up cutting the live show short by an hour, but the three of us will regroup. We'll do this again because I really wanted to play the audio from USF. So who knows? Maybe there'll be a weekend spectacular or something. I don't know. But for everyone else, thank you all for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Fuji, it's always great to see you, my man. That's my guy. For those who don't know, when Broad Street South first started, Fuji was with me. And how Fuji ended up coming on board was, and I don't really say this a whole bunch, but he actually stuck under the fence. He came over the border, or went under the border for that matter. And I told him, listen, you can't do that. It's not the way it works around here. So, but no, that's not the way it worked. Fuji and I have been really good friends for like the last 5 years, going on 6. We can't even believe how time flies that fast. But just ended up reaching out to me. We thought it would be creative to do something Philly when it first started. Unfortunately, when we did launch it, it was during the pandemic. And then after that, things ended up blowing up literally afterwards. But it's good to have Fuji back on board here on the Coastal Sports Digital Network. I always appreciate him, even though, it's good. But Jay, he's pimping himself out, though. That's my only problem. He's like, he's putting on the perfume, the cologne, everything else. Who's buying me next?
I don't wear perfume.
I know that.
For the ladies. Well, yes.
There you go.
But it's good to have Fuji back. It's always a great time with my guy, and I do appreciate it, especially now that we're getting into the Eagles season. And Jay, now, Fuji, I will say this before I sign off. Jay is my wild ace. Guaranteed for sure every day from Sunday. Jay, the only thing I don't want Fuji to do is when he loses it, and when he truly, as long as he doesn't have a couple in him, there's been one show in particular. When you talk about blowing the lid, I think everyone in the tri-state area heard Fuji's mouth. It was funny, don't get me wrong, but when he gets upset, he can blow it. So it could be.
What? Oh, you're all Fuji. You all Philly? Every Philly team?
Oh yeah.
So 76ers, Eagles, Flyers, Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
What's your college team? What's your college team?
I don't really have one. I mean, I just never got into college. I mean, I'll watch it.
Yeah, it's East Coast people are like that. There's a lot of people aren't into college.
I mean, it's a shame because it's Penn State's like 5 hours away, and the only college football team is Temple, and
yeah.
Temple.
If you don't, listen, if you guys don't like Nick Sirianni, wait till you watch James Franklin coach big games. That's funny.
It's okay. Everybody's got jokes.
Like watching a virgin on prom night with a zipper. So so there you go.
And there's that.
Stop laughing, food. Stop laughing, food. It's not funny.
There's that. All right. Well, listen, thank you everybody who tuned in. Obviously, for the folks who stopped by here at Tampa Joe's, inside the bar, starting a little bit packed as we are at the happy hour, first hour of happy hour. We'll try this again. We'll regroup and see what happens. Unfortunately, things do happen when you go live. And sometimes, it's a pick of a litter. It can happen that way. But nonetheless, Fuji, myself, and Jay will be back together again like the old-time bands, the 80s bands. But until then, we want everyone to have yourselves a great weekend. Don't forget, we're off on Monday because
no drinking and driving.
None whatsoever. Yep, none whatsoever. So we're off on Monday. We'll be back next week. Who knows? Like I said, maybe a weekend, little 1 hour show pop up. Who the hell knows? I don't know. One way or the other. Although my producer might say otherwise because I know she's giving me the eye over here. But nonetheless, thank you, everyone. We do appreciate it. Everyone, have yourselves a great night.